Jeez. Okay,
Let's go.
okay.
All right, welcome. This
is another episode of the Brothers Grimm. You know, here with your boy AK.
I'm your boy Dub, man. What's going on, man?
Yes, sir.
How you been? How's your week, man?
Been shaking it, as they say, fam. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm super blem here right now, and I'm loving the vibe of the studio. It is fantastic. Like, yo, honestly, good though. What about you?
Not bad, man. You know what I mean? Busy and shit like that at work. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Got promoted recently.
Shout
so
out, you know what I'm saying? Clappers for the you know what I'm saying?
Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you already know, man. Congratulations on that. That's always a big thing, you know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? I still fucking hate working though.
Oh, come on. That's not gonna change.
At least I'm getting paid some more now, you know what I mean?
That's it, you know what I'm saying?
But yeah, no, it's lit, man. So other than that, man, ain't nothing, bro. So
yeah, man. Did you end up watching the Shine interview or the documentary?
No, all I saw, to be honest, with that was one clip, and I saw it on the Breakfast Club.
On the Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a Breakfast Club clip, and he was talking about how he went, I don't know where it was, to France or some shit like that.
Okay.
With Diddy.
Right.
And I guess he felt like, he said something about how he felt he owed him, and he gave him like 50 racks. And he was just like, are you serious, bro? Like 10 years?
This was after, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, this is after, right?
Right.
And I was just like, yo, I had to think about it because, of course, the first thing that I'm thinking is like, yo, Shine, bro, 50 racks is not chump change, bro. I understand.
It's not $50, nigga. Like,
yeah, no, it's not. And but I guess the way that he was looking at it was, yo.
Well, all the foul shit that was associated with it, right? Like my interaction with it was on Math Hoffa's what's it called?
So he went on the Math Hoffa?
Yeah, which was interesting, you know, because he was just talking about it from a different angle. Like on that show, at least he was talking about like how he kind of reconciled with it, like the whole thing's kind of dead, especially going towards him being political. He did speak on that, and you know, I think he came to grips with that. Like he was dead with that because where he is right now is a lot further. And honestly, that interview though was different because he did detail certain things like about the shooting and about there was pretty much a shooting 30 days before that whole incident that happened with him and Lil Cease and them.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. So he was kind of detailing that shit about that. And essentially, you know, they were already hot and, you know, like it's all, you know, it's a whole thing, right? He kind of explains his backstory about like whatever, you know what I mean? But essentially, when that happened, when he got that time, he was referring to, this is why I wish you'd seen it, because he was referring to the point where he lost his voice, which is what we talk about a lot.
Oh, yeah.
In regards of, and he described it as, you know, getting shot, and in the process of you being shot, you're trying to get yourself to safety, and only once you're in safety do you realize, I'm hit here, I'm hit here. It's adrenaline that essentially brings you that. So he kind of condensed that whole 10-year sentence in that. Like, he was essentially getting to at least the sentence to the point where at least he was able to rap again.
Oh, okay.
Right? And that's what we heard. But we've also discussed you know, encapsulating our legends, you know? Like, I don't like to listen to certain artists past a certain point. Right?
What point is that though? Like, I mean, because what if their music is fire, it's fire. Like, I don't know. Like I explained to you before, it's like, for me, I don't mind seeing people do their thing past a certain point if it's, because at the end of the day, it's just, that's what they do, bro. Like, it's going to come out of them regardless, right? So in order for you to get what you got when they were hot, like, yeah, this is a residual effect of what they would think. They're always going to be, that's something that's not really going to just die out easily just like that. They're going to keep doing it. So I don't care. I'm not, if it's trash, it's trash. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to listen to it if it's trash.
So you're going to put out trash and tarnish your legacy? That's my point. I can't see you like that. And I know that, you know, it's something that's innate inside of you guys as artists and you guys want to do that shit. But it's like, yo, you gotta sit back and appreciate your art at some point, and that should be that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for example, Michael Jordan, you know, probably wants to play ball still, but he's not gonna go out there and try and run game and shit like that.
You telling me that?
But he
you know
probably
what I'm saying?
shoots
You
at his
didn't
house and shit like that.
So
you know?
you mean to tell me you didn't appreciate, and even though that shit was rigged, the fucking Mike Tyson fight and Jake Paul, I know that shit was rigged.
Oh yeah,
I don't give a fuck.
That was
but
fucking dog
I had
shit.
absolutely no problem with Mike Tyson at 58 years old going out there, getting a bag, and looking in shape.
But that's a whole different thing.
That's not a whole different thing.
He's getting a bag at that price point.
Yeah, he's getting regardless, he's getting a bag. So at the end of the day, these artists, right? You don't want to listen to them past a certain point. But at the end of the day, there's people out there that do want to. And that's how they're continuing to go on tour, listen. And they don't even have to make new music to go on tour. But I'm just saying,
right, I was gonna say
they still go on tour. And like at the end of the day, they can sing their or perform their old music, bro, and still make a bag off of that, right? But you don't want to see them making new shit. But why would that tarnish their legacy? You just accept the fact that they're not like that no more. How can they be, bro? Nobody's gonna sustain that. But I don't have a problem with it because at the end of the day, they're staying active and they're getting a bag. And for what you gave me back in the day, you deserve that. You deserve to keep getting a bag, bro. And you deserve to put music out. I don't care. I will give it a listen, bro. And if it's trash, it's trash, bro. That's fine.
And that's what you get from me. Like, you'll get the 1-2 listen. But like, there was a SP album he did with what's his name? Dave East. And I was like, fam, like, come on, bro. Like, what are we talking about? Like, you know, you're SP, bruv. Like, this is not like, you know, you're supposed to, if anything, be showing them how to do it. And it's like,
okay, no, you know what? To be fair, okay, I guess
that's not fair.
Maybe the genre matters then, because I don't want to hear you at 47 years old talking about what you did in the streets 20 years ago. I don't care about that. I don't doing like that. I get that, but I mean,
so we're just gonna rap about juice bars, and you know, you know what I'm saying, like push ups and pull ups. You know what I'm saying? But I feel you. I feel you. Like, you know what I mean? But when you're going to listen to the Locks, for example, you're listening to their old shit. If they're gonna perform, they're gonna tour, they're gonna do their old shit. They're gonna do their old shit,
of course.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. 100%.
That I can respect. That I can see you creating a body of work that's so legendary that no matter what I produce after that, you don't watch that, fam. Just go buy my old tape.
Big facts.
And we'll go from there type shit. You know what I'm saying? As for Tyson, I'll go get it. You know what I mean? But I think sport and artistry is different in the sense that, sports, you have to, I guess it requires the same amount of discipline and dedication on some level, right? And for him to do that at that point, you know, I respect it. I'm not saying I don't like what happened, but I don't know. Some people don't want, some boxing enthusiasts is probably like, yo, fuck that, bro. Why'd you go out there for that? Like, it doesn't make sense for you to do that, you know what I mean? And especially if you're gonna do it and you're gonna do so poorly that it looks rigged, right? This is what I'm trying to avoid. This is what, as a music consumer, you're seeing. You're seeing the Tyson fight where he's lackluster punching, lackluster bars. This is not the guy. This is not the black shorts guy that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And that's my whole point. What I like about Shine, to bring it back to that point, is the fact that he did switch up into politics. He did everything. He did everything right in regards of being a street guy, right? That premise where you do your time, you don't snitch, you don't rat. And then he just so happened to have a link, which was his pops, that he got linked up with later on, like during him doing that time. Right. He got close with his pop. And then he was able to transition into that. And now he's actually doing different things, which, you know, a gangster to a politician, there is no better story written. But he's not out here making tracks. He's making different.
He tried, though.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
So, and again, that goes, and sorry to cut you off, but it goes back to the genre thing, right? Like, how are you gonna make your song sound good if the premise of all of your songs that got you hot before was all about a certain type of shit. Like you're not
Yo,
doing
firstly,
that.
Shine
You're not
is-
doing that no more. Like if it was talking about just bitches and shit, like for instance, when Young Thug, because they're talking about how is Young Thug's music gonna sound, and we talked about that too.
Right.
But what is his music gonna sound like? Because he can't come out here and talk no shit because it's literally against his probation. So what is his music gonna sound like? And it's just like, what do you mean what is it gonna sound like? You know how many songs he just talks about just bitches and smoking and drinking, lean or whatever the
You
fuck it
can't
is?
do none of that, but you can talk about what you did, especially if you've already been convicted. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what
I don't know. Was he? I guess he was.
Well, as long as you're not
convicted,
talking about that case, but I
but
can't imagine.
You're not supposed. Like they made to me, it looks like they made some special stipulations in his case because I don't know anybody who gets that. We're talking about feds here, bro. Like
Yeah,
how
a
the
RICO
fuck do you
case.
get that? A RICO case, and now he's just home. That doesn't happen, bro.
He's chilling.
So I don't know. It sounds like some really special stipulations around his whole thing, and it's like, yeah. So whatever you can talk about your conviction if you've been convicted and you did whatever it is you're supposed to do.
Right.
But I feel like, and especially the fact that he hasn't done it yet, he's still serving that. He's
Essentially.
currently serving but he's doing it at home. And he's able to still make music and tour, which is crazy.
Right. Because
I don't
what are
understand
you
that.
going to do on your tour content? Like, it's got to be old shit. It's got to be
guess.
my best friend. It's got to be,
Or if it's new
Big
shit, it has to
racks.
be about. It can't be about none of that other shit. And
That's interesting.
And his whole catalog again of this other shit that got him in trouble. He can't say.
What
say
I like
that.
about Thug is that he got out in a point where, let's say he was supposed to do like 20 years. He got out where I think there's a point, you ever get punished and there's a certain point in the punishment where you're like, yo, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got it. Like, okay, I understand why I'm here.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think he got out at that point. And,
I don't know.
and maybe if he got it, like, in regards, it will transform or transcend to his music. You know what I mean? Because, like, there is, like, yeah.
So you're trying to say he got out at a time where he was just like, okay, I get it. Like
maybe he was at the peak of his writing, and he just so happened to get out at that point.
At the peak of his writing. So you're saying that
During that
are you
time
trying to say
frame.
he sustained his abilities?
Yeah,
or you're saying
that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
you don't.
okay.
He
Yeah, I
hasn't
agree
hit
with
that
that.
point where he's beaten down.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Right, so
Yeah,
you're probably
facts,
gonna get
facts,
some
facts.
still hot music. He's probably gonna still have that
Facts.
ear.
It wasn't that long, bro. He was, and he didn't. He was what? It was 2-3 years, something like that.
That's what.
These guys doing
This
that.
is what I'm
standing on
saying.
their
He's
head,
like, all
bro.
right, cool, I'm good.
That's
fam.
nothing, bro.
So I'm
Like-
good, boss. Allow me, dog.
You know, like
You know what I mean?
In comparison to what he was facing, I mean,
Right.
what are we talking about, right?
Fucking 98% conviction.
97 or
and you're-
98%
You're
conviction rate.
moonwalking out of that, like, yo,
I
to the
don't-
crib, to the gates. fam.
But yeah, for somebody in his case, yeah, I think he's going to be able to sustain the ability. I mean, but again, he talks about a lot of different shit. It's not all about, we're talking about
Right.
Styles P, the locks, all of that shit, bro. We're talking about like really hardcore from back in the day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like every bar and it's bars on top of that. So you got to worry about that. With them, it's more just the style, the fucking swag, the fucking. You know what I'm saying?
You're referring to
Now I'm referring to I'm
Thug.
in comparison to somebody like people like the Locks,
Okay.
and then like Young Thug, like Future. Look at Future. Future's what 40 something years old now.
Right.
He's still fucking making bangers,
and,
bro.
but because Future skates in a lane that is just for Future, like you can't do wrong when you're making stripper music.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? How he hustled his way up, impeccable movement. Say what you want about this nigga, nigga's taking his bitch, all of that. I don't give a fuck. This nigga's still relevant in music currently.
Big facts, bro.
All
That's what I'm
40,
saying.
whatever.
And not that that's common. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sorry to cut you
It
off,
is.
but
It isn't
it's-
common. It isn't common. You know.
You know,
And
to have that long, like that's some serious longevity. I don't even see it ending anytime soon, which is crazy.
if he stays in his lane, as soon as he starts to do anything else, like, what would be outside of his lane? You know, and then
Yeah.
you know what I mean. That's it. Maybe if he starts voice acting in like Disney movies, it will kill his shit. But probably not. He's that. You know what I'm saying? Who knows?
Depends on who he's playing in the movie, right?
Right.
You know, if it's a voice character of some, trapper who is, you know what I'm saying, on some, villainous shit, that
of-
might not even hurt. Like, like whatever.
All right. So speaking of flicks, fam, what about what are your top 5 mob flicks?
Top 5 mob flicks. Goodfellas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I always get you with the list.
I mean,
man.
we're talking about I gotta list 5. I don't
Just
even know if
5.
I
Just
could list-
5.
I don't even know if I can list 5,
Not
bro.
maybe not like mob. When I say mob, I mean like crime,
Gangster
type shit.
Okay.
Right. You could.
I did. What did I say just now?
You said. I fucking forgot. What did you say? No. Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. City of God.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I didn't want to say it for you.
Yeah, City of God.
Right.
Menace to Society.
Okay.
Damn, what else, man?
Shit.
I don't want to say Scarface, but I have to say Scarface.
Listen, hot take. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah.
Manola's a snake, fam. Right? And I was watching it again.
Yeah.
And I realized that, do you remember that part in Scarface when Manolo was telling him to go do something, go meet a connect, and he went to the connect and they had the camera in the what's it called? In the clock.
In the clock, yeah.
And he's counting out the money and blah, blah, blah. And then when he goes back to the lawyer's office, Manolo's there, but he wasn't when he got jammed up. That was the first snake move. So I think Tony booked that.
Yeah.
Because that was very early on in the movie.
Yeah.
So he had his eye on him,
Yeah.
right? And then when he dealt with the sister,
Mm-hmm.
right? The fact that you didn't bring it to that guy, we've had this discussion before.
Yeah.
That was it. Like you fully snaked me.
Yeah,
I allowed you for the first thing.
he's
You're still my right hand. But anyways, yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Scarface, my bad.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So there was Scarface,
Mm-hmm.
and then this is this is gonna come down to, because if I had to say 5 though, and I watched the other day, bro. What was it?
Any Denzel flicks?
Oh my god, what was it, bro? I watched it the other day, bro. You do your 5, and then I'll see if I remember mine, or if mine might even be in your 5.
I gotta say, because City of God's always gonna be there. I think we should go without certain ones. Like City of God's a classic. Goodfellas,
Sure.
Casino, those are fire.
Sure.
Killing Them Softly is a big one.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? Did I just forget all of them? I had them lined up in my head, fam. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, so Killing Them Softly, No Country for Old Men. You ever seen that?
Yeah, I have. That's with
Javier Bardem.
Benicio. Is it Benicio del Toro, or is it the other
Is
fucking
he in
guy?
there? No, it's the next one.
Javier some shit.
Javier Bardem
Okay.
and Tommy Lee Jones is in that.
I did see that.
And there's the
I
youth
did. I saw it once.
there's Thanos, the nigga that plays Thanos.
Oh, Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin.
Brolin or Brolin or some shit?
Brolin.
Is that his
Brolin,
name?
something. I don't know what that. All right.
Well, yeah, that nigga. Okay.
Oh shit. I do like Scarface, but not to put on the list.
I know what you mean, and I didn't want to put it on the list, but like if we're doing like I said, I can't even come up with.
Okay,
5
Training
right
Day. I have to put Training Day up there.
Oh yeah, I guess. See, I'm thinking a little bit different. Okay.
You see, because I when I say like, I like Departed. I like these type of movies. I like, and those are still good flicks. But to contest, to put up there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I was watching How to Become a Gangster, which is some Polish shit. It's crazy. It's a crazy movie. Crazy movie to watch.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh man. What's it called? Eastern Promises.
Okay, never.
If you ever seen that joint, that's a good flick too. Gangster flick. And honestly, like, yeah, that 5th one is hard.
Yeah. I got stuck on the 5th one too. So
Movies. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Movies.
okay.
Yeah, see Donnie Brasco. How did I not say Donnie?
Another one I haven't seen. That's why
You haven't seen fucking Donnie Brasco,
No,
fam?
no.
Come on,
Because
bro.
there's movies
American
that I've
Gangster.
seen. Okay, what?
You
With
didn't-
Denzel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Casino, Untouchables, The Departed, as I said, A Bronx Tale.
A Bronx
which you
Tale,
put me
yeah.
on to. Yeah, killing them softies on there.
Listen, I mean, I guess I can even put the Irishman on there.
The Irishman was the one where he blows them. He gets blown up at the end.
Who gets blown up at the end?
Oh no, you're talking
That's the one about Jimmy Hoffa.
Okay, sorry. There's two Irishmen.
Is there? I think it's called the Irishman,
It's,
right?
it's the one with Al Pacino or
Al
something.
Pacino, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, all came back. It's a Martin Scorsese joint. You know what I'm saying?
Lock, Stock, and Loaded. That's a big
Yeah.
one.
So,
Have you ever seen The Town? Have you seen The Town?
fuck, I can't believe I forgot that.
bro.
That's actually literally
Den of fucking
probably,
Thieves?
Yeah.
Yo,
yeah.
that just knocked out a movie I just had in my fucking head too.
Yeah.
Saying that Shata's definitely is one. Carlito's Way, King of New York, all of them ones, you know what I'm saying? None of those ring a bell with you, eh? Like in regards of putting them up.
No, I mean, obviously Training Day, would be up there.
Yeah, maybe I'd put
On
The
that
Town.
list, but I mean, I don't know. We've done this list a few times.
Yeah, that's why you
so.
keep getting your opportunity. But yeah, so I don't know, man. Like, yeah, but I guess it depends on what you classify as a crime. You know what I mean? So that Jimmy Hoffa movie.
I don't know. When you say gangster movies, I'm automatically looking at like the classic gangster movies, whether it's Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, like that. Like, you know what I mean? But when you say crime, I didn't really transcend the whole, genre of like gangster hood movies. If you
like
I'm
hood,
automatically
like hood
thinking
movies. Yeah, hood movies is definitely like a menace.
Yeah,
Like like a Friday, like a Boys in the Hood.
yeah.
A hood movie could be, Vampire in Brooklyn if you want, like as a hood, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so I got some of these questions here. I've been trying to look on. Okay, so what are some stereotypes about men that are true? I've seen that somewhere before.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll let you start that one off. I don't know. I don't know if I should. I don't know if
I know the one for sure is like when we get sick. Like when you get sick, like you're super down. Like for me, when I get sick,
as
in you get like a fever or you're out, like you're
okay.
down and out, like like I'm out of commission, or I get a migraine, I'm out, like I need everything.
That's a stereotype for men.
I'm just saying for me, like.
Oh, okay. I mean,
One of the things, one of the stereotypes is that when men get sick, they act like babies and shit.
oh, for real? Mm-hmm. Okay. Shit. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I act like a baby. I mean,
Oh, fuck, there was another one I had that just slipped my mind real quick, bro.
yeah.
Fuck, dog.
Yo, what do you feel about Trump being president? I don't know. I don't follow too much politics, but I mean,
Politics.
do you have an outlook on that at all? Do you think? Would you have voted? Who would you have voted for if, say, you were American?
Seeing as how I don't have a business, and Trump seems to be about like business, like protecting the business, right? And I don't really know what Kamala's thing was, right? So like I would just go by the devil you know as opposed to the one you don't,
Sure.
right? And I think that's how most people vote,
Yeah.
because I'm not really studied like politics. From what I understand, they really happen at not a provincial, but like a community level. Almost like you got to fix the things in your community first, like city hall and shit. Like that's where you can see real change. When you get to like presidency and 50 different states counting votes, like you know what I mean. For me, it's just a numbers thing. I can never really get on with that. So if I were to cast my vote, it would just be with the guy that I knew of. He's
Exactly.
rich, he's wealthy.
Yeah.
So it's less likely that you'll be able to silence him. Like he's gonna talk more truth. Like he doesn't have nobody over his head being like, yo, do this. Nobody can sway him. I have bread. I'm gonna say what the fuck I want. right?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much as far as I know about that. So I would pick him for that reason.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's interesting what you said about like, I would just go with this just because, like I said, we'll go with the devil I know as opposed to the one I don't like. And I think that's obviously a problem in and of itself with the whole voting fucking system.
Right.
Because it's just like, I should be able to know what the fuck I'm voting for real. Like, I don't know. And okay, fine. Maybe I didn't do my due diligence, but I feel like they make it so complicated that, like, you can't tell me. Like, for me, the reason why I don't vote is because I don't understand this whole thing about, well, this place over here gets this many seats or electoral vote or whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
And this place gets this many. What are we talking about? If I'm going to vote, why isn't my vote just being counted as a vote? Right. I do not understand that, bro. You can't tell me that makes sense. If you're trying to do that, I think it always goes like, if the harder something is to figure out, bro, it's like that by design. Like, there's a reason why it's so fucking hard to understand why they would vote. Like, why wouldn't it just be one vote is one fucking vote, bro? Like, we're in 2024. I mean, maybe back in the day, there might have been a reason why you couldn't vote like that. Why is it not now that you don't have something that it's just like, all right, count up the votes if you vote for this guy or this whatever. Right. And maybe I do understand the whole thing of voting for, and that's another thing. If you like this party, if you're conservative,
right,
but the conservative person in your region is a dickhead and you don't like him, in order to vote conservative, you gotta vote for this guy. It's like, why? Like, there's got to be a better way, bro. So I don't know. I mean, I at first when I thought about that question for myself, I was like, a big part of me wanted to vote for Kamala Harris just because she's black. Yeah, just because, you know what I mean? And obviously, with Donald Trump being who he is and the things that he said, and it's like, yo. But on the other side of it, I'm like, basically exactly what you said. I'd rather vote for the devil I know as opposed to the one I don't. And I know that for this guy, business-wise and economically, he might be the better guy, 100%. And I have no problem with that, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not really studying all of the other shit. To me, that's just him creating a what do you call it? Like a smoke. What do you call it when?
Like a smoke
diversion, shield. Like a smoke screen or something. Like, it's just something to kind of, so you don't know what's going on. Like, he's saying so much wild shit. It's like, okay, what's real, what's not? And then when he says something else, now it's like, okay, is he fucking around? Is he talking shit or is he for real? Like, you don't even know if he's for real or not.
That comes from the wealth, though, right? Because you have bread to go back to your grandchildren's grandchildren.
Right.
You can speak like that, so it almost seems outlandish. Like, this guy doesn't make any sense. Like, it almost looks like, a play, even though politics, even the world is a stage, they say, right?
Yeah.
So essentially, yes, a play, but he looks like almost like a Joker in it. And but I think that just has to do with it as well. Definitely, I feel like if that lady got an assassination attempt on her, she would have definitely won. I don't
bro. Again, I can't believe that was actually a thing, bro. Did that really happen, bro? Like,
and they missed and they shot the man's ear or something like that. Come on, bro.
Bro, I think that when he went down, they just fucking put a hole in his ear or something and made it bleed. Yeah. I think that shit was fake.
There's a lot of misinformation and disinformation and propaganda and shit like that, and that's also part of the problem of politics. Which is why I don't even like watch the news and shit like that, because it's just like, for example, CP24, that's one perspective of it. Yeah. But it's not going to show me what's happening in Kentucky, Like, it's not going to show me exactly what's happening there. It's not going to show me about the bombings over there. It can only show me, at its best, what's going on in the city, which I appreciate. Yeah. But it's not going to show everything. And you can't assign a media to show you absolutely everything, right? And there's room for corruption, and you're leaving it to humans. There's room for human error, right? Yeah. there's a lot of things that we touch on that we have to come back and, I did research on this thing.
Yeah.
Right.
That's big fact.
When you leave it to that, it's just like, you know what I mean? Politics. Somebody, I always wondered how these niggas got money, right? People lobbying, but lobbying, like somebody has a vested interest in what you're going to do for them, and they pay into your campaign.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and then the seats thing is very interesting to me as well.
Yeah.
We have and government in America is different than Canadian. We have, parliament and shit like that. We have,
but the voting is supposed to be around. It's similar.
The same. It should be the same, right? But there's been so much
voting should be the same
corruption in that alone.
Yeah.
Just people can't count, recounts. It's different, you know what I mean?
Basically, what that whole seats thing and all of that tells me is that when they tell you your vote counts, it doesn't. That's what that tells me. It doesn't really count. It may or may not count. That's what that's telling me. Because I don't understand. What do you mean this place? Like I maybe shouldn't even talk about this because I don't know too much about it. But the big thing in the States is always, if you win, I think it's Florida or some shit like that, then you're way ahead. Like it's a good thing to win Florida. It's like that should never be a thing.
Because they have X amount of that.
Why
those
is
things
that?
I never understood.
Exactly.
Or
right?
this city, these states are blue and these ones are red. And you're winning in this state, which means that you're going to win over here by it's crazy. Like,
somebody explain it to me because maybe I'm stupid, but to me, I feel like it shouldn't be that complicated.
It's legalese. It's for that. Like it's to deter. Right when people start making things complicated because they don't want you to look there.
They don't want you to look exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's
so
what
I'm
going to
sell you
earlier.
this here. I'm going to sell you on business, or I'm going to sell you on this, or healthcare, or whatever that is. And people say healthcare. Oh, what? Welfare? Oh, I get, schooling? Whoa. Education? Oh, you're going to, taxes?
Yeah.
All right. So that rings bells to certain man's ear. Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the appeal, and I think that most people are voting like that anyways. What do you do?
I'm going to say,
You're looking out for hospitals? Okay, great. I don't
What's your
care.
thing? Yeah. Is that what you're doing? Okay.
Right,
and that's the crazy part about it is like, what was she doing? Kamala Harris and them. What was their thing? Who were they fighting for? Is it left wing? I mean, I understand that it's liberal, whatever. But I mean, what was the thing that made you vote? And you're right. It's basically people voting just because I don't like this guy, so I'm voting for this person.
Right.
Or this person.
I think her come up was the whole mix up with Biden. These guys at work be talking about it, so you don't use. When they nerd all this stuff and they be talking about that conspiracy and all this and Viacom and all these, they be talking that wild shit. So, every once in a while I tap in or I'll ask them questions, right?
Yeah.
But her whole thing, from what I understand, this is not a professional, outtake or whatever, or hot take, but she kind of came up through the mix up with Biden. That was Biden's number 2. And when Biden got stepped out, she stepped in and that's as far as I understand about that.
What are they doing?
As for what she was pushing, what her narrative was, I don't know. I know that, for example, Trump, it was business. It was protecting the American business. Yeah. That's all I know. That's all I fucking know. They have this one youth in Canada right now trying to get taxes down so that we can buy housing again. We can buy houses. Like, bring more home and be able to afford a house is his kind of motto. Now, he could be a fucking a DC villain, on the back end, but that appeals to people who want to buy houses,
for sure,
who want to build houses, build family,
and
make things a little bit easier in this country for themselves. So that's gonna be the guy that they're,
that. Apparently there's going to be a tax break on, I guess, I don't even know if I'm using the right word, tax break, but basically there's going to be no taxes on certain things starting December, I think it is.
No taxes.
Yeah, so on certain foods, right? Mm-hmm. Certain, and wine. Apparently wine is going to have no tax. So any dine-in. Okay. Any dine-in or dine-out, like takeout or dine-in restaurants, no tax. on the bill. You know what I'm saying?
No, like
And
GST, HST.
no GST, HST. Yeah, for 2 months apparently. This is something that I guess Trudeau is saying that he's doing to help people out or whatever and all of that, right? You didn't hear about that?
Nah,
eh?
I didn't hear about that shit.
Yeah. So, like, the crazy thing about that to me was when I looked at the list, bro. When I looked at the list of the things that were no fruits, no vegetables, no meat was tax free. When they said groceries, they just said this product, that product, Coke, Pops, fucking all of that type of junk, just junk food. Just junk food. And I guess, like, not that I'm complaining here, you know what I mean? Because no tax on certain items is lit. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like wine, whatever. Okay, that's proper, you know? Oh, you know what else is actually on there?
What's that?
PS5s and shit. Like video games and shit.
Are you kidding me?
I swear to God, yeah.
So
no
fucking
tax.
random. That guy's a fucking goof.
Yeah, like why those things? Like before you put something more, cause like, and even with the food, it's like, come on, bro. Fruits and vegetables. I thought you guys are supposed to be pushing for like healthy shit. I would have thought that the fruits and vegetables would be the thing that they put no tax on, bro. Maybe it doesn't work that way. Maybe it's complicated because of the farming. I don't know, but yo, make it happen, bro. Like if you guys are doing this, why can't you guys make the other shit tax free too? I don't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, I'm not complaining or anything like that. But yeah, I mean,
They give to get, right? I think that's kind of any hustler angle. You know, you give a little bit extra to get something back. There's something on the back end.
that's business. No, I get it. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So like he definitely knows he can't not have an ear to the street and know his effect out here.
No doubt.
So he's probably like, you know what? Hold this. You know what I'm saying? They go 2 months and just cool yourself and then back to business on the back end. You know what I mean?
Well, he's probably definitely trying to get. I guess our election is next year. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure.
I guess it's terrible that I don't know, but I get like
Yeah,
I'll tell you one time I don't vote, so I don't know. So,
Asking a question is, I don't think there's anything wrong with that because that's like a form of bettering yourself. You don't know, so you're asking the things that are apparent. It's gonna definitely come off ignorance, and it is. But once you do the research or somebody corrects you, right?
Absolutely, man. And I've never been one to tell people or shy away from telling people like why I don't vote and the fact that I don't, because I need to, because if it needs to make sense to me.
Yes, it needs to be bread and butter.
Sense.
Simple like that.
Bread and butter, simple.
Right.
Like if it's not, then as far as I'm concerned, I'm contributing to that issue of the lack of transparency and all of that in that whole system. Like as far as I'm concerned, by just saying, oh, well, whatever, nothing I can do about it. I might as well vote just because I feel I need to or because that's what a good citizen does and feeling all of that shit. Like, no, fuck that, bro. Like, nah, make that make sense to me and then we can talk, bro. And if it doesn't, then I'm not going to contribute to that. I'm not going to fucking condone that. I'm not going to contribute to that lack of transparency and that whole thing. I'm not doing it, bro.
Right.
Because, nah, make it make sense, man. It's we're talking about these seats and electoral. What are we talking about, bro?
Right.
No. And then I look like a dickhead or an ignorant fucking idiot for not voting. Like, no, I have my reasons and I don't care. I'll tell people.
A vote is supposed to be something that's powerful. It's a right, and that's what they tell you. You know what I mean? So if I'm withholding that, that's the only power, essentially you have.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna hold that.
That in and of itself is power right there. Right. Is I think there's power in not voting. They just
put in another vote in your place.
Imagine everybody in one province or one state said, you know what? No, we're not voting. Everybody is on the same page. We're not voting until you guys make this make sense.
There's a building in New York that's doing that right now.
Really?
Where they're like, we're not paying no fucking rent, dog.
Yeah, I heard, but I heard that was happening over here.
It started in one building and then they moved on to the next building.
Yeah, bro, but I thought that was happening here, no? I thought it was happening like
the one I heard
GTA.
was in New York.
Really?
Yeah. If they're doing it out here, fantastic. I would love to jump on that.
I thought I heard that, but I'm not hearing too much about it. But I'm seeing people on TikTok popping up saying, yo, bro, Canadians are getting it right, but they're not paying their rent. Like, these are American people.
Yeah,
I'm like, wait, what? Because I'm paying my fucking rent, dog. Where is this building where I got to, because I don't want to pay my rent.
But that has to be, that's the problem with humans. Like, to be in synchronicity with each other, it's very scary. That's a very deep waters that people aren't ready to tread in. You know, to say, you know, we used to talk all the time when we were young, like, oh, if everybody didn't go to McDonald's for a day or a week, you know, how devastating that would be on the economy and stuff like that. But yo, you know, some bitch ass niggas gonna be like, yo, nobody's at McDonald's, fam. It's Friday night, fam. I'm going to get our food. You know what I mean? And then one man will see that guy and he's like, yo, he's going there.
Well, all it's going to take is McDonald's to say, sorry to cut you off, but all it's going to take is McDonald's to say, all right, bet, yo, free burgers today. That fucking place is gonna be fucking
there,
packed, bro. Especially with the price of food and shit. Like, we'll be like, yo, you mean free food?
Yeah.
Who am I to say no to free food?
You know what I'm saying? I'm not Bill Gates out here, you know what I mean? So
that's it,
most people are gonna say, and that's the thing. So for them to do that as little bit of a stance as you see them,
right?
It's a big deal for them to say, yo, we're all not standing, we're not doing this. We're standing in unity and do. But yo, I don't know if them niggas can leave their house like that. I couldn't imagine the uncomfortable like nature that might be. And obviously that's part of the game, right? You're saying I'm not doing this social construct anymore.
Facts.
Right? So definitely it's gonna be scary, but like I wonder, do those people, are they allowed to leave their crib? Like if they leave their crib, are they just going in there, changing up the locks and now you're locked out? It's an honorable thing to, you know, see and be done, but how are they living? You know, are they just in their house, they can't move? Or, you know, what anyways, that's just the one thing I heard.
Who are we talking about right now?
These the people that stand, like, that are doing the things like they're doing in New York, not paying rent in unison. People doing that.
Yeah, I lost track of who
it's okay,
we were
fam.
about.
It's okay, fam. That's why we ask questions. Cause I almost did my damn self, and then you did that. And I was like, boom! I caught it, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yo, boss man, what are we on for time? Oh, we're on 40. Okay, that's
okay. Like we have 20 minutes left, type shit. Like. I've been filming for 42. Okay,
that's what's up.
No doubt. All right, man.
Beautiful, fam. Yo, I just wanna get a cup of water. Shit.
Oh, do you want to
get a water, please? Yeah, for that.
Oh yeah, I'll take one too, bro. Thanks, bro.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah,
cool, man.
Yeah. Thank you. We're at the illustrious podcast studio.
Yeah.
You know, so this is new for us. You know what I mean? I'm part of me. I'm super blem right now. Like, I didn't even know. It must have been a mixture of the cold and I don't know if I'm, you know.
So it's just maybe I don't know.
But like you know, to actually be in the spot and like I ain't gonna lie to you, I thought it was like, you know, like super scammy at one point. Like that's how I felt. So now that I'm here, I'm in the spot.
Appreciate you, bro.
I'm relaxed, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. All right, so I guess. Oh man. Okay. All right, so there was one I wanted to end with, but I won't ask that one right now.
Okay.
I guess something to alleviate the stress we could do is just like, if you could speak to any animal on Earth and understand them, which species would you talk to?
That's a fucking good one, bro. I'm thinking sea creature. I don't know which one.
You want to know what's going on down there?
I want to know what the hell's going on in that shit, bro. There is so much ocean. There's so much shit out there. I want to know what's going on out there. Apparently they explored more of space than the ocean. What? Imagine
crazy.
that, bro. Isn't that crazy, bro? I want to know what's going on. I know there's something down there, bro. I know there's some crazy shit. There's some Aquaman fucking city. There's got to be something down there, bro. It's huge, bro.
So like mermaids and shit, you think they be out there?
I was watching some shit on mermaids the other day, and I'm like, even though the videos were all fucking weird and shit, fake, you could tell, but like mermaids, yeah. And if I'm not even gonna cap to you, bro. I don't know if this was a dream or what, bro, but I have a memory. It doesn't feel like a dream to me. It's a memory for me that I saw mermaids, bro. Like when I was with my uncle, and there was he brought us to this for people that know Shirkston. So there was this place called Shirkston, right? Yeah. And it was basically, I guess it's I don't know what you call it, cottage, like a cottage town, like a cottage area, right? And I had an uncle that was that was there that I would go check, and so he had the cottage. And I remember being a kid, and we used to do things. When I went there, he was doing skipping rocks, doing that whole shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uncle nephew shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was nighttime, bro, and there was a fire, and he was just like, I want you to see something.
Right.
And we're there, and there was some other guys there, grown ups there. I might have been the only kid there, to be honest. I don't remember any other kid. Might have been one more kid there. I don't think, because I had cousins and shit. I don't think they were there around at the time. Mm-hmm. It was like just me and him, because me and him would just go and do shit, right?
Right.
And he's just like, I want you to look at this. And he's like, just look at the water. Just don't take your eyes off of it. Just keep looking.
Okay.
He's like, and then I seen the fucking shape, like I saw, bro, I don't know if it was just a dream. I don't know, but to me, dream. It is a memory, bro. To me, this is not it was an actual memory, bro. Like, and I seen the shape. Like, you didn't see them pop up or nothing like that.
Right.
But I seen the shape. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, mermaids. I was like, and I'm like, okay, they're real. For me at the time, I'm a kid. I'm like, okay, I guess they're real. Right. And then after that, I would try to explain to people what I saw, and they're like,
nah,
you didn't see that.
Nah.
And to this day, I literally don't understand what I don't know what that was. And that uncle is dead, so I can't even ask him.
Oh, yeah. And I know you're a person that, like, you know, you can recount a movie end to end in like in chronological order. I've seen you do that multiple times.
Right.
So for you to have a memory that vivid, I'm sure, you know, like it sounds super far-fetched, but I'm like, you know what I mean? If you remembered it, you remembered it.
That's the thing and like you said, I know one thing about me is like long-term memory is certified, bro. It's credible. Like my memory is like, I don't have I have a pretty crazy, especially long-term memory.
Right.
But that was crazy. But I don't know. It would be a sea creature for sure.
Right.
I'll just go with a fucking dolphin. They're supposed to be the smartest strains.
Supposed to be a dolphin.
I'll go with the dolphin, bro.
Dolphin. I would probably go land animal, and you know, so definitely predator or some shit like that of some sort. Like maybe a lion, tiger. Maybe tiger.
What would you say to the tiger, man? What's the first thing you're saying to the tiger, bro?
Just don't eat me, fam. When you see me, just cool.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what makes you want to ask a tiger of all things? Like what? Like, you know, why a tiger?
Because, you know, they're lone wolves, essentially. Right? Right? It's funny irony, right? But they're lone kind of creatures. They don't hunt in packs. They're self-sufficient. You know, I appreciate that as an individual, you know. And you know, fuck, who knows, bro? Like, there's nothing really I don't think I could gain. Maybe an ant, right? Because their perspective would be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's it like to be able to lift X amount of, you know, times your body weight type shit?
That's what they can do? They can lift times
their
body weight?
You don't see them things lifting up fucking leaves and all kind of thing, and it's much bigger than them. You know what I'm saying? So in line to that question, right?
Yeah.
Which of the animals, if you could understand all animals now,
okay,
which of the animals do you think would talk the most shit?
Talk the most shit.
Like, yeah, which one would have the most shit to talk? Like, oh, you guys are pieces of shit. Like, whatever. Just tell you about yourself, whatever. Be funny, whatever. I think, you know, when I thought about it, I thought like a fly.
I kind of thought about that right now, actually. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, there's sometimes I see my dog or my cat, and I want to know what they want to. Sometimes they look at you like they want to say something to you, fam. And like,
the dog, 100%.
But if they ever said that to me, no, I'm out, dog. I wouldn't be ready for that. Say, yo, nigga, you know what's behind you? I'll be like, yo, I'm out, bro. I'm out of here, fam. You know what I'm saying? That's why I had to put it in that context where all of the adults are already speaking.
Did you ever hear about that like concept of like what would happen if you died and you were in the house with your pet and what that pet would do based on like so cats apparently would be the first like if you were dead like and
They're eating you.
they're eating you like
Yeah.
no question
Right.
right bigger smaller dogs same thing not same they have a little bit more they'll leave you for like,
A longer time.
a little bit of a longer time than the cat would but they will eventually they'll eat you apparently the bigger dogs those are the most loyal and those ones will allow you for like they will be so hungry like
Before they come and touch
before
you.
they even try to and I don't know exactly if they would even do it or not but they're holding out the longest.
That's probably how they can tell, you know, like if you were a good dog owner is probably how long your dog didn't eat you.
Yeah, why isn't it that? Why isn't it about you as the dog owner or the pet owner?
Right.
What would like you know what I mean? And yeah.
I think I've heard that concept too. You know, that's very interesting. One thing I know about cats though, especially domestic cats, is or feline in general are like true carnivores. So everything that they eat helps them in some kind of way. So like a cat will eat all of a mouse, all of a squirrel, fur, everything. All of that stuff is good for them. So your domestic house cat can eat like you give him a live animal, he'll eat all of that. And it will be 100% good for that cat.
It's crazy.
But a dog, you can't do that shit. You have to break down the meat for them and stuff like this.
Wow, really?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I did not know that.
So I guess the other question I have is if you had to quantify in dollars your friendship with all of your peoples collectively, would you be wealthy or would you be poor?
I like that. First thing comes to mind is I'll be wealthy. That's what I think.
You think people are going to bat for you when it comes down to the nitty fucking gritty?
The ones that I have around me, yeah.
Right.
The people who I've at this point in my life still have as close peoples, like you know what I'm saying? Like
Cultivated.
them niggas is certified. Everybody is certified, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like everybody that I got in my phone right now, anybody who's my text messages, bro.
Right.
Very small list, bro. Very small list, but it's everybody on there is certified, bro. Like it's like that. I have a tight enough circle where it's like, yo, I'm happy with the small, you know what I mean, like group of people that I got in my life right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't quantify. And sorry to cut you off again, but I don't quantify it in terms of like how many friends you have. And it's the quality of the friends that you have. You know what I'm saying? So in that regard, yeah, I would consider myself people with a lot of friends, bro. To me, like you can have a lot of friends. I don't know what it's like to have a whole heap of friends, like a whole ton of friends, bro. But yeah, they can spread you thin, bro. Like I mean, I feel like having a huge fucking it's a lot, no?
My
like,
social battery is on negative Kelvin right now, fam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, so it is important. Can you imagine having 300 people? Imagine trying to keep track of 300 people. For example, 100 people, 20 people. No, let's say 50 people. Yeah. Tracking 50 people. And that, for some people, is their social circle. Yeah. Your family, your grandma, your aunties, your cousins, all of that. Right. Tracking that alone, my days, fam. Let alone to have, you know, that's why most people, when they get grown, they create their own families. That's what we're referring to right now. Right. And that social circle, that circle becomes your family.
Yes.
And if that circle, when you hear this question, if that circle isn't coming off wealthy, rich, luxurious, then that's not, you got to reevaluate the circle, fam.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's what you do that for.
Facts.
You cut people off because they can't add to this thing, this
Yeah,
Costa
can't add to this
Nostra,
thing. Big
right?
facts. Yes. Yes.
So I would definitely think, and one thing about friends, true friends, they span decades. I don't need to talk to you every day.
No.
Like I really don't. You know what I'm saying? And some decades, and it's really a marathon. You can have a friend for a decade, but then after what happens in the second decade, no, you may not be around.
Bro.
You know what I mean? And it's only if when you come back to that third decade now, they come back and it's like you ain't never left. That's real friendship. It's not quantified by how much text messages or how often we see each other. Like when we chop it up, are we building past this point? Are you coming out of that situation built up? Or is it a negative? Is it a deficit? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I guess the other question I have, I guess to lock out is if your inner voice was a physical person, how long would you be friends?
If my inner voice was a physical person, how long would we have been friends?
How long would you be friends?
Like how long have we been friends?
No, how long? Because
that nigga is real already.
That nigga is real. So you're parring with him. So if he comes out physical,
every day, bro,
he's just like he's there.
That's my twin brother, bro. That's my motherfucking
right.
Siamese twin, bro. You mean?
So your inner voice never steers you astray, and that's why I asked the question. Right? Because
okay, so that's why I'm saying maybe you got to break it down a certain way. I'm trying to figure out what are you really asking? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
well, anybody can be okay. My bad. So I guess right. So that inner voice now, right?
Okay.
Being a physical person, you know, let's say you started today, right?
Yes.
And going forward for a year, would he be your friend at the end of the year?
Yes.
Right. Despite all the ups and downs.
The inner voice is the thing. The inner voice for me, it's me not listening to the inner voice. The inner voice is always telling me the right thing, and me doing the right thing is a totally different thing.
Right. Like, so if anything, he wouldn't be your friend.
He's the homie. He might not be my friend. He might tell me, nigga, I can't do this no more.
I can't rob with this nigga, bro. He out to lunch, son. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. Bro.
Oh man, bro. That's really, I never thought about it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, definitely, man.
It goes to like, you know, if you know, like, yeah, nah. I ain't gonna go into that one. Definitely not gonna go into that. What are we on for time, family? Ooh, shit. All right. Yeah. So, motherfuckers, okay, this is another episode, exclusive episode.
This is episode 1, season
what? 4?
Yeah. Oh, see, you said 4. I said 4. So it's
all right,
it's 4.
So season 4.
Episode 1, season 4.
Look forward to the Man and the Brothers Grimm. Yo, I'm super blessed. I almost tripped up right there. Okay, listen. Another episode of the motherfucking Brothers Grimm. You're here with your boy AK.
And I'm your boy Dub, man.
You know, and it's been one, man. Y'all have a blessed one. Easy.